I hope you're having a great day. I'm going to turn this light on. There we go. Picture is clearer with the light. Don't need a lot, just a little bit. Hope you guys are having a great day. I'm having a pretty good day. It's cold here, but despite the wind chill making it, I think it's up to -9 now. It's not bad. Hey, Dark Lord, good to see you, brother. It is not actually too cold feeling out. We got the sunshine and it's above 0 with the temperature on its own. And I'm really grateful that the sunlight is out. Makes a big difference. Hunter, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. I saw your video. I appreciate it. It was awesome. The pipe still looks gorgeous. I love the plateau, the look, the size of the bowl. I'm going to enjoy it. I know it. I got a feeling, buddy. Hey, Hillbilly, how you doing, brother? So I made a small blend today, just goofing off. Some different Virginias, some Green River Cavendish. And it's pretty good. And then some cube cut burley. Gave it a nice nuttiness. It was a little bit bitey. Not bad. I think this one aged for a while would be really good. But I would want to perfect it and dress it up, make it all nice before throwing it into a jar for some months and seeing how it turns out. Because I'm just not patient enough right now. So I'm going to blend something. Think I already know. Think I'm going to goof off a little bit. I don't want too much Latakia, but I want some Latakia. It's 60 there. Yeah, it's too cold. I'm forced to hang out inside. It is it's too cold. I went out to the shop today when I let the dogs out, and it was nice enough in just this thin sweater for a little bit without the wind. It is nice enough. But I've learned that sometimes when you're doing stems and you're doing tenons, even if the tenons are already done, they'll get a tendency to get these little hairline cracks on the ends of them, which is not doom. Some of them will still function just fine. I have one, and it's not a big deal. But I don't want any to crack. I don't want anything to act funny on commissions. And I sure don't want to apply a lot of heat and do any stem bending, whatever the words are, when it's going to turn around and be really cold. So I don't want to do that. Not worth the risk. I'm snowed in pretty good anyway. So I don't need to hurry on anything right now. I just need a nice warm day. Some Riverboat Gambler, very nice. Maybe I've had a sample of that. I don't remember Riverboat, but Gambler sounds familiar. So I may have had that before, had a sample of that. So this is going to have some Perique, some Virginia, some Latakia. I'm going to need some. Oh, I want some Burley. I want some Burley. We're going to do some cube cut. It does extend the burn. I was actually able to enjoy a pipe while outside, even a short pipe. Well, short, nose warmer, but good height. And it didn't burn out right away. I actually had more than half left by the time I'd come in, and I was probably outside 15 minutes or so. So we're going to do some cube cut. I don't know if I want to do Oriental right now. See if we got some other kind of Burley laying around here. I had some a little while ago. Yeah, we'll do some 702. Nice. This is going to primarily be Burley. There is no doubt about it. Just enhanced with other flavors a little bit. It's going to be a bunch of Burley. Let's see. That's not bad. I'll take a picture of that. I took a picture of the previous blend. Then I can look at the components and decide that that's how I want to do it. I'm going to grab some water really quick. I thought of that several times. And then between getting excited to do a live and coming over here, I forgot it. So I'm just going to move things so I don't knock anything off of anywhere. And I will be right back. There we go. Some water and some little bit of food. Since I didn't have any lunch yet, I kind of lost track of time the last hour. Bartek, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Cherry Jubilee, very good. Let's see. I think it was maybe Hearth and Home. Cherry Ambrosia is pretty good. That's one of the kinder blends. It can be a bit bitey, but it's got good flavor. Cherry Jubilee, if I remember right, was good. I know I've had it. I'm getting a balanced diet in. Got fruit and carbs in here. Only got sugars and protein. So it's more like a snack kind of lunch, I suppose. I don't eat a lot of big meals. Sometimes it's lunch. Usually it's around dinner I'll eat more. It just depends on the day. I often miss out on breakfast. So I'll eat later, or I'll eat a later big dinner. A lot of times in the morning, feeling things, whether it's something smooth like silverware or the temperature, just feeling different things when I'm not quite ready. I don't want to have a quick jerking seizure and get myself with a fork or drop a plate or anything like that. So a lot of times in the morning, I might do an early lunch kind of thing. I love peanut butter cups, man. They are my weakness. Doing pretty good today. Glad you're doing good as well, Bartek. It's been a good day. And I would have done some more work today, but it's primarily stem work. And it's cold. And the shop isn't kept too cool. But I couldn't see spending the energy on a couple hours of getting it warmed up, feeling cool anyway, and then possibly having issues with stems. None of those together made sense for me. And our water is low. So then getting acrylic dust on you and possibly not being able to shower is not a good combination. But it's primarily for the stems. But we've got water. It just doesn't last long. There's a pump issue they're going to look at within the next couple days. We've been trying to figure it out because sometimes we have water. So we have a well, and then it comes to the hydrant and goes to the well pit, which comes to the house. So we're thinking that the pump either has a valve that's slightly opened or leaking, or like the seal's gone bad, or it's reversing it and going to the hydrant. So sometimes we have water in the hydrant when we don't have any in the house. Well, that sounds good, Donnie. I don't have beer. So I do have some harder stuff here to drink, and we've got bottled water and stuff like that. To get clean last night. Now, normally, if this happens, which is pretty rare, usually it doesn't happen. I think things are just needing fixed this year. I've done the water bottle showers, and those aren't very warm. So I did pour water bottles in different glasses, like mason jar that we use for glasses. Microwaved them. But 10 minutes of waiting for water to warm up by the microwave for a 1 minute shower is just annoying. And I thought, well, we still for some reason have water at the hydrant. I'll go out there. I think it was around 6 ounces of water. Not much water. I mean, if our water is full right now, which takes an entire day and overnight, you could run about 5 to 10 minutes maybe and be out. It's just weird. And we've got enough warmth in the well house, and it just shouldn't be happening. So something else is wrong. But we just gotta get by a little bit. They did work the roads already today, and it's not snowing. Sorry, that was a chewy piece of jerky. So we'll see if we can get anywhere on the roads. If we can, we'll go to my folks and shower there. The good thing is when it's cold enough, the roads aren't as dangerous as when they're muddy. And it sounds weird because ice can be absolutely treacherous, but mud can be just as bad, and then you can have more issues. I mean, neither are good. My dad was driving, I don't remember which vehicle he had. I know it was 4-wheel drive. And he got to our corner and did a whole circle. He said, I thought I was going to go into the ditch. My dad would never admit that unless it was totally true. And that wasn't today. That was when things were melting. So the mud and ground being frozen isn't always bad. Figure I better get something more in my stomach if I'm going to smoke. And it's hard to remember subconsciously to keep up on water when you know that your water overall is low. You know, you kind of cut back a little without even intending to. So I'm making sure I drink enough. So we have Perique, some Virginia, some Latakia. Not much of either of those. Cube cut burley and a good amount of 702 burley. Smells good. I won't argue. I want some burley, dang it. I want some burley. And fortunately, I have some cheap little cigars. And I still have a real nice one. to get me through while I wait for special occasions for some other nice ones. The little cigar sounds nice. This is a Cuban honey. And I've got some CAOs, some real nice ones. Taste pretty dang good. I'm trying to think of which ones these are. CAO Cherry Bomb, which is fantastic. If you haven't had the tobacco blend of CAO Cherry Bomb, I recommend it. If you smoke it in a taller, thicker pipe, you pretty much just taste vanilla. You hardly even get a sense of cherry. But in smaller bowls, you get the opposite. You barely get the vanilla, and the cherry's really good anyway. Did any of you guys wake up today thinking it was a different day? I don't know why. It felt like Saturday, and then it felt like Sunday. I don't know what happened. I did a poor job with that one. Have it lit nicely now. Just isn't wanting to draw for me real well, but that's all right. So do you guys have anything special planned for the day? I think the most excitement I have is trying to get to town to have a decent shower. This is weird. It has a huge, good-looking ember, but it just doesn't act like it. Weird. But hopefully tomorrow should be really nice. They were saying it was going to be colder today and tomorrow, and today is not like that. So I'm hoping that because today is not like they talked about, maybe tomorrow will be really nice. There, we got the wrapper off. It was too dry. That's all right. And let me know if you guys have any issues with the live. It seems to be acting mostly correctly. But Mabu's planning on, if we can get into town, completing a box for her sister so we can get things sent out the same day. Nice, Hillbilly. I just need a little more warmth, man. I need water and a little more warmth. They get that straightened out, we'll be good to go. Man, this smells good. Tastes good. It's got a nice sweetness to it. Just a nice, pleasant, aromatic kind of cigar. Not bad. Not as good as the quality Hillbilly sends me, but good to get by. Good for someone that just wants a tasty cigar that maybe isn't ready for the strength of other cigars. It's a good one. I'm anxious to get to that blend. But felt like it was a good day to start this off with a cigar anyway. What are you working on today, Hillbilly? If you guys haven't seen Hunter's video, I invite you to check out his channel. It's a nice video, has a wonderful looking pipe in it. That'd be cool, Donnie. Should be able to. I know this afternoon here, within an hour or so, maybe two, we're going to try to go to town. So I thought with this window of time, it'd be a good time to do a live or something. And if we do get to town, we'll be there a while. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to, if I'll do this in the evening again, but we'll see. You know, it could be we go to try it and we're back soon. Hopefully we can get into town though, because it would be nice. Hello, Kate, and possibly Yornik if you're with her. How you doing? I don't know what kind Hunter smokes. Hunter, what kind of cigar do you smoke, buddy? Nice. That's where I'm at with them myself. I'll smoke any kind, but I do like dark cigars or medium cigars as long as they're good. Good quality is like Donnie said. He learned a long time ago that cheap cigars work for a bit, but if you really want to enjoy a cigar, you get ones that you know are good quality. Man, I'm sorry. I hope you guys were feeling better. I know sometimes things don't pass real quickly. I was hoping it would pass quickly for you. We're feeling good. So thank you. I hope you do soon. Maybe during this, even things will turn around. You'll feel great. This is the weirdest Cuban honey. I've never had this happen before. It's still tasty, but it doesn't smoke like it's lit, but the end of it is lit and it's smoking. There's just something going on in the works. Smokes like a half clogged pipe. When you get that draw that's a little too restricted, that's what it feels like. So something isn't right. Still tastes great. Bearwolf and Miss Kathy, how are you doing today? Good to see you. I'm enjoying this Cuban honey despite it not wanting to draw right. It's still very good. That is for darn sure, Hillbilly. Oh, I'm seeing your messages. Well, some of your messages, maybe. And I think the issue is right up. Feels like there's a knot about an inch before where your mouth goes. So it feels like it's something's just weird. But at least the flavor is there. Makes you lick your lips, nice sweetness. Not bad. Oh man, could be. I hope not, Yornik. Cold, sleeting, and slicker. Oh my! Then I've never heard that term. We use the term slicker than snot. I've never liked that term either. But when my dad says it, I know he means it. He is not one to exaggerate when it comes to weather and roads and stuff. It's not sleeting here. It tried to the other day. We have the sun here. It was here pretty early this morning. It's nice right now. I mean, it's including the wind, it's like -10, but there's not much wind for once here. It's pretty rare. And we've just had lots of snow. But it packs down. You know, you walk on it and you almost can't shovel it. I'm glad it stopped because I go out and make a path to the shop and keep it pretty clear. And with the wind we've had, it's just been filling everything in right away. I mean, within an hour. And I'm getting tired of reshoveling the same path. So fortunately, it quit snowing and it's not blowing wind all over. This is like the most congested pipe or cigar. I just ripped it in half. I can't do that. That's too much work. Maybe not in half. I didn't try to rip it in half. It's drawing right now. Weird. Sadly, that was a tasty cigar, but just one of the worst ones to smoke that time. And I've never had that with I've had a lot of Cuban honeys. They were awesome. This one, most of it's unsmokable. Shouldn't be getting worn out that much from trying to smoke a cigar. That's all right. I guess I did want to try this blend anyway. Try it in my Rossi 8320. There's Burley, Cube Cut Burley, Virginia, Perique, and a little Latakia as well. I was mostly going for Burley. I just want the other taste to kind of be there and make it a little better without taking over anything. That was a weird cigar. It was like they tried to finish the end of it 3/4 of the way up it. Well, Yornik, you have a nice sleep. Good to have you with us. Kate, you are welcome to hang out with us. Dang reasons. That's the problem with having to go to sleep. You know, if I ever was a what's that? That show. My wife loves the books, especially Twilight. Now that's dedication right there. If your wife or girlfriend really wants to watch Twilight with you and you don't want to, and they fall asleep and you watch the whole movie because you know they could wake up anytime. That's better. I almost added Orientals to this, and I'm glad I didn't, because this is more of the taste of what I was going for. This is nice. Got a little touch of bite after having scorched it a ways, but it's good. You can barely tell that Latakia is there. If you weren't familiar with Latakia, you wouldn't even catch it. That's nice. This is good. This is better than I expected. The Latakia really comes through if you do the slow puffs, like you draw in through your nose. And the Latakia Burley combo and the Retro Hail is awesome. So that turned out good. You really don't pick up much Virginia. It's there, but it was even less than the Latakia. And there's a pinch of Perique in there, but it's good. Hey, we have Everett. How you doing, buddy? You watched Twilight 2 out of scientific interest. Oh, you're both sterile now. Oh man. See, I wouldn't be good. In a vampire realm. I wouldn't be good. I mean, when someone can tell you they're 20 and they're actually 100 and whatever, there's a lot of funky interpretations. I will say, to the credit of Twilight, that the ending of the last movie, trying to balance what some fans wanted and what moviegoers wanted with getting an action-filled ending, but an ending that made sense at the same time, um, to nail both out of that took some skill. But it's just like, Harry Potter and stuff, that's not really for me. I like some of it. Mostly the idea of having powers with the wand. I think that's awesome. And I always want to, it's always so strange to me now. I'm not familiar where I am with anybody named Hermione. But I feel like if I knew somebody named that in real life, I'd probably mess up and call him Herman. So it wasn't right up my alley. But Star Trek, some of the Star Treks, most of the Star Wars, I enjoyed. Well, that's how my grandma was. She didn't show wrinkles. She was full Italian. She didn't show wrinkles on her face or much age at all until her early 90s. But we found pictures from way back, way back in the 40s, and my grandma looked like a movie star. So it was pretty cool. I haven't seen the cartoons. I liked the old ones. I think it was Next Generation and the original and the real old one with William Shatner. I think I liked that one, tied for first or the most. But when you're a kid watching some of that stuff, not the Shatner ones, but the ones after that, they had some scenes with dialogue that went on for decades, and you're like, man, I really want to watch this because there's some good stuff, but I am bored out of my mind. And I like a lot of books. I need to read more books. I'm getting stuck back on Westerns a bit. Um, there's some Star Wars books I want to find that I remember really enjoying from beginning to end. I have tons of theory and law books, all sorts of books I should read again. Those are good. But usually, if I'm feeling real good, I don't always sit and read a book. I usually try to get to the shop and call it good. But this is just right. There's enough Latakia to taste and to combat any bite from the burleys. But the burleys stand their ground. The Virginia and Perique with it help, and it's nice. I think jarred, this would do pretty well. I don't think the Latakia would overpronounce itself. Oh, nice. Yeah, I haven't seen those yet, Kate. That's a good one, Steve. All the wrinkles pull out of their face. Facelift, heck, I don't know if I feel like if you lift your face too much, you're gonna have a forehead like Elmer Fudd's, all those wrinkles. I mean, you're gonna be combing over the skin. I don't know. You got lifts and tucks and strings and procedures. It's like, good Lord. You know, God already loves you. Don't mess yourself up too much, All those strings snap and everything comes untucked, you're liable to hurt somebody. Now, I've seen him do some amazing things. I mean, truly amazing things. There's some makeup artists that are phenomenal. And they can make people look 40 years younger. Yeah, see, like Everett doesn't need makeup. He just takes the beard away. But he goes from a respectable looking guy to somebody we all jump at like that Henri. What's that Henri kid doing in here? He shouldn't be in here. He's nice, but where did Everett go and what's he doing in his house? But I did see some really cool things. I actually had a lot of respect for makeup artists after seeing some of the people that they've in whatever show or video fixed. The worst thing is, if your goal is to go on a date or go out somewhere and just feel good about yourself, that's awesome. It's what happens if your goal is to take someone home and then you do, and I don't know, maybe you might be in for a surprise. Or 10. Some of them they do a whole lot of stuff too. You're like, man, you need a straight truck full of stuff just to get you to look like a person. But most people, I just say be happy with how you look. If you aren't happy with it, it's how you look. You got to accept it. I went through the age of awkwardness in high school. You're always trying to look your best and look for the right people to date or whatever. So having been there, I don't know. I'm like, just be yourself, because you can look like a model and be a jerk on the inside, no one will want anything to do with you. But just like the nice cigars that Hillbilly has spoiled me with, I've been spoiled by Mabu because she's got everything. So that's probably why I don't worry about it as much. I mean, I want to look good for her, but the best thing I could do would be to trim the beard, but she says don't trim the beard. So I'm not going to argue with her. They tell you always want to reveal your true self to the person you're with. But if I reveal my true bare face, she might head out. Who knows? Hey, Jeff. Hope you're doing well, bud. I'm surprised, though. I'm not getting much bite at all. And I'm smoking the heck out of this in a big bowl, and I would think I'd get some bite. It's really, I know there's a little bite, but it's not like harsh enough to go, oh no, I got to put the bowl down. It's a good sipping blend. I don't think it'd be a great one unless you really don't get any bite from anything. Or if it's had age, then it might be better for having while you're in the shop through the day. that the Sheelan look. Glad you're doing okay, Jeff. That's I understand, Everett. I do. Oh, jeez. That is great, Everett. Put your clothes on, Sasquatch. I don't even know who the woman was or is or whatever, but I can still picture it. That's some good descriptive writing right there. And I just see you with this innocent, like, what harm am I doing kind of look. Who are you to tell an animal to put clothes on? Did you tell her that you're not just a myth, you're also a legend? A living legend? Yeah, I never got that saying when people are up, they say, if you got stage fright and you're up on stage, picture everybody in their underwear or less. That would just distract me more. It'd become this stupid mini game. And I don't want to know. I don't want to know what some of those people, there are a lot of people of every age in that audience. I don't want to know. Maybe that's the whole reason Kathy Griffith did her comedy in her underwear. Maybe what I like to personally think, just to be ornery, is that maybe she was trying to make up for the lack of humor and and try to add some pizzazz to it, the gimmick. And I don't think it worked. I couldn't stand it. I was like, oh, you ran out of one liners, so you got down to your bra. It didn't work for me. One of my friends told me he thought she had the face of a what the heck was how he worded it? Looked like a worn out burlap sack or something like that. I'm like, I don't know about that, but I just quit watching her altogether. Inside Job cartoon. Oh, I know you are, Everett. That was a great that was great, man. You get tired of hearing "Put your clothes on, Sasquatch." I usually get Bearded Wonder, so I think Sasquatch is a big step up from that. Then you've got an identity. If they put the word wonder in it, you don't really know where you stand. Like, is that good or bad? If it's Sasquatch or Yeti, you're a wanted person. There are a lot of people looking for you. You're almost a celebrity. Bearded Wonder, you're like, what do I do? Do I wait for a mothership to come get me? Am I supposed to watch out for hunters? Am I supposed to be the hunter? You just don't know. You're left with a lot of questions. I had one evening, Mabu was giving me a hard time. I came in, I had gotten showered, and I was getting dressed, and all I had left was to put a shirt on, and she said, "Get dressed." So I was ornery, and she was taking a shower, and I popped my head in the hallway, and I go, "Put some clothes on," while she was still in the shower. It was fun. I don't know why people generally have a problem with marriage. I don't think marriage is a problem. I think a lot of times a person is the problem, or both people just aren't going to work. But I have a lot of fun being married. If it's the right person, you can get away with a lot of fun. I like that. That's a good idea, though. You got good friends there looking out for you like that. I don't know if it's good looking out or if it's just preservation, but at least they're looking out for you. I don't think you're endangered. I think you're just good at hiding, Everett. I made it worse. I should have some pipe cleaners hiding. There's a smaller one. That's what I need. Oh, there you go, Everett. You got the right idea. Hey, Patrick. Yes, I saw the video. I'm glad you brought it up. You're both right. Kate's right. Everett's right. I think with Everett, Everett deserves an overly nice, fantastic looking woman that he can't get out of his mind, who is independent enough to let him do his own thing and avidly not just like is okay with, but avidly supports pipe smoking in general. And will gladly comb or braid the Yetiness. But I understand, I've had friends go through divorce and stuff like that. People aren't always real at the start, and some people are good at being junk for years and pretending they're really good for years. And people change. You got to change together. You know, I'm the guy that believes in once you're married, you should stay married, but there's also a reason for divorce, and this should be the last option. And you can't be miserable. At some point, you got to look out for yourself and say, I refuse to be miserable. But I like how you worded that, Everett, because you're right. You're right. And things come up people don't know they could handle, or that they find out they can't handle or won't handle. But I saw this guy. This guy was awesome. He had proposed to his girlfriend, and she was just you could tell she was a beautiful person completely. She looked like she was quirky. She was cute. She had a wonderful personality. The two of them together were like bread and butter. I mean, it was awesome. And she was in a terrible car accident. As far as independence, her life is over at that moment. She will not be able to do anything for herself. Can't hardly speak or show the right expressions on her face. Big time accident. And he said, I proposed to her, and it was like 2 months before they were going to get married that the accident took place. And people said, what are you going to do? And he said, I'm going to marry her. What kind of man would I be if I left her when she needed me the most? But I've known people like that. I know people that end up taking care of somebody the entire marriage. But damn it, that's what you sign up for. That's why you take marriage seriously. But everybody has their reasons for different things. And I hold nothing against anybody who's gotten divorced. Usually there's a reason. In some cases, they're the reason. I mean, I told my one brother, we went to his reception and we're going through all this stuff and signing the list and all that. I wrote my condolences. And it was half jokingly, but I followed my gut. I wish I would have been wrong. I was totally right, and it's too bad. But that's neither here nor there. That's the right attitude, Everett, right there. True. True, Kate. Yeah. If life's going to be miserable, come on. And especially if people have kids. You don't want to mess up. It's better to co-parent than it is to stay in a relationship that's harming the environment that children grow up in. I've known people that have divorced and still stayed together or would meet at the same house. One couple I knew kept the same house. They moved out and they would meet all the time. They would do things together with the kids, activities. They would meet at this one house. They would do board games and have their kids do campouts and stuff. They were still extremely involved parents. They did a wonderful job. As long as you take a pipe and some haunted bookshop. But it is what it is. We're all in the search for happiness, whatever that is. Everybody has their own goals and their own things in mind, their own objectives, what they want to pursue. To each their own. Whatever you do, whether it's marriage or a very busy career like a military career, whatever you're diving into, give it everything and then some. And if it truly over time isn't a good thing, go from there. But, don't act on impulse. Don't rush to divorce. Don't rush to marry. That's coming from me, who could have married Mabu in 2 weeks of knowing her, but still held off on marrying people for years. And fortunately had the wisdom to get out of those terrible, terrible relationships. I don't even like to use the word toxic because you hear that all the time. anymore, but some relationships are, and you got to go, I don't want to be married to this. I don't care if there's some good, but the rest is awful. Like, forget it. Sometimes you got to hold out. Yeah, that's true. Or know what you want. You know, a lot of times, and it works both ways, guys or girls. Now, I think that for the most part, guys usually find out what they usually know what they want fairly early. Usually women know what they want about 5 to 10 years later than men. In my experience. So this is just in my experience. Mabu's got more common sense than anybody I know. And she knew what she wanted, and I knew what I wanted, and it was no problem. Oh yeah, we gotta do the smoking stuff. Oh, come on. Click where I tell you to click, you. We gotta do the bowl call groundhog. I'm smoking a Burley, Perique, Latakia, and Virginia blend I made a bit ago, and it's fantastic. And my Rossi 8320, which I guess you should technically say either 8320 or Rossi 320. It's a Rossi 320, and it's awesome. I'm enjoying the blend a ton, and I think it would age really well. So I'll have to make more. I have jars here, so I might do that while we're here. Oh, sorry. Are you smoking loosen up then there, Hunter? Is that what you're saying? You're smoking loosened up? That's good. Stinking autocorrect, bud. I think I do have some jars still down here. I cleaned a couple and put them close for things like this. You screw up and make a good blend. Old Joe Krantz and a Savinelli Porta Cuervo. I love that shape. I need to get one of those. The Miele Honey Pipe from Savinelli has a similar thing going on with the bowl. But I've always liked Porta Cuervos. Smoking a vapor and a butts choking. It's not mirrors all the time. That's all right. Mirrors are good anytime. I've heard good about butts choking, but man, I can't get over that name. My gutter mind always makes me laugh when I see that. Steve, Kathy, if you were going to smoke, what would you reach for? Oh, and that's a rusticated one. Nice. I haven't seen a rusticated one. Actually, other than maybe you showed me one day, I'm pretty sure. And this is rusticated nicely. These butts are made for joking. This has been good to me. It's not too rough, but it's not the smooth rough that it usually is. It's a little towards the rough side, but it's a good grip. I don't know what the pipe would weigh. It's a substantial pipe, but compared to some that I've smoked, I can still clench it pretty easily. Yes, you do have to get a kilt now. Oh, nice, Everett. Maybe you were telling me about one you ordered. I don't remember. I just remember talking to somebody last week about a Porta Cuervo. So I'm going to hold on to that memory, even if it's not fully intact. So now I'm going to take this picture of the ratio of this blend. Woo! Oh, okay. It may have been somebody else. Just coincidental that we've been talking about it during about a week's time. Nice. So is that indeed Lucky or Nutty Irishman with Haunted Bookshop? I could picture that. I could wrap my head around that blend. That sounds nice. What's really good, Steve, since I got you on here, bud, Hillbilly Piper took some standard Haunted Bookshop and pressed it. I think he pressed it for about a month. I think total it has 6 months age on it. That was fantastic. I like it more than Bookshop on its own, even though it's the same Bookshop. It's just pressed. Fantastic. Oh, Black Irish Twist. Okay. I do like the name of that. I should smoke some twists. That sounds good. I should get some Black Irish Twist with some like Peter Stokeby 702 Burley. That'd be good. I can see it. That would be good. I that sounds nice, man. That little bit of darkness on there, richness in the flavor. The Irishman has seen some stuff. Oh yeah, I need the Virginia. Where'd you go? A little twist. Stout enough a bowl can last you all day. Man. So and you don't have to tell me if you know, whatever you want to reveal. I would anticipate that it's at least half Black Irish Twist or close. But I don't know. Then again, it sounds good though. Regardless, it sounds really good. What am I missing? Oh, I'm missing a little bit of Perique. I like stout blends because they let you know they're there. And usually they're a turnaround on a flavor. Like I made a stout vapor that was greatly in favor of Perique, and that was fantastic. It was strong, it was indeed stout, it was tasty. 50-50, then let age. Nice. Well, the most components of this are greatly drowned out in comparison to one of the Burleys. But with age, I mean, this is just getting better as the bowl goes. So that's a good blend. And it may be because the Perique is increasing a bit because it does pick up. And it's enhancing the blend in the right way. Man, it's good. So I'm excited to see what this does aged. I just need to leave it alone. I make a blend I like, I tend to reach for the jar. And it's hard to let it age. And that's been the case like with lemon chocolate cake. That takes a week of work just to get it ready to jar. So then you leave it in there and you really want to smoke it because you know it's done. You know it's going to be great. And I have a jar that's like my daily resistance to temptation. Oh, wonderful, Patrick. I appreciate that, bud. There isn't a ton. This was about a third of this bowl or a quarter, but I want to age it and see how it does before if I need to make any changes. So now I just got to label it or I'll be in trouble. I love those tampers, man. And I made them so you can still scrape carbon cake efficiently without damaging your bowl. But I carry those tampers. Man, those are my favorites. I carry lots of different tampers depending on the day, just because I've got them laying everywhere. So I just kind of grab one or two. But those are my favorites as well. And when I get you your next box, you'll have your other tamper in there. But those have been my favorites. So what Patrick has, and I left it in the shop, is one like this, but it's much bigger. And it actually started as half of a nail, because those are huge. And then I formed the end. It kind of looks like it was already done. And then I round it really well, but I flatten it. I take off, I grind off a lot of material on the end, make it smooth enough, and wire brush it, all that stuff, so you can scrape carbon cake. Unless you're really forcing a corner really hard into the side of a bowl, which most pipe smokers don't do, you're not going to damage it. And then the weight and that nice big nail end on it, I love them. My other favorites, if they aren't that, are these steel ones. This is old steel. This is after wire brushing the old or wire wheeling most of the rustication down. And it's still on there. So this is not paint. And I left enough of the edge I can scrape off, but it's smooth so it won't damage anything. I can't wait to get you some. I actually did batch. I can get you one of these. You'll have two coming anyway. I got to get you your Times Square one, and I'll get one of these too. I'm glad you said some, because I don't have a ton of them left, so I'll get you one. Yeah, I do have a batch of lemon chocolate cake of just the base blend that's aging. It's all readied. It's in a jar. It's just aging. And then I will do the flavoring when I have a clearer idea of when I can send stuff out to you. Then I'll do the casing that I do for it, all that stuff. And it will be on top of an already married together blend. It's going to be great. And I don't know how the lemon chocolate cake on its own ages past so many months, because it never lasts that long. I would anticipate, because with what it does here, the most I've aged it is almost 4 months, because I made 2 jars and I had forgotten where I put one. Smoked through the first jar in a week, no problem. And the next jar, I was like, where'd that jar go? And I looked around, I go, I thought I had another one, and I moved on and found it when I was moving things. I'm like, you know what? I want to see how well this holds up with age. And it was good. It got even richer with chocolate with age. It was tasty. The lemon dies down quite a bit in the process anyway. But the chocolate, it just got better for me. So I don't know how well it would age past that, but I can say that over 3 months, it was wonderful. It just does not last very long. When you're done with it, you're like, I'm ready for another bowl of that. I can't believe what I just experienced. I want it again and again. Similar to Mordor, as you've experienced, where you smoke it, and right when you're done, you're like, I want another bowl. I want another bowl. Oh, it's a T-shirt my mom found at her place from when I was in high school, and it just says, "I can't say what I'm thinking right now." And I figured, since the lettering won't survive many more washes, that I'd just not wear it and just put it up. So that T-shirt's been around a while, but I can't say what I'm thinking right now is what it says. And Google Meet, it shows, the cameras always do something different. And I don't usually do Google Meet on my laptop, although I suppose I could. But it usually blows up the screen more than this does. And typically people can read it. It kind of zooms in. And it's not, the letters are trying to kind of curve weird, so it distorts it anyway. Let me move the chair. Yeah, just said I can't say what I'm thinking right now, which was a great T-shirt in high school. Because regardless of what it was, I would hold back from saying. There was usually often an occasion for it. So did the fudge brownie, when you got through fudge brownie, Patrick, did you still feel good about it? Did it still treat you right? Nice, Kate. I've got some like that. I have I used to work at this place, and they were not good with personal protection equipment, I will say that. But we used a lot of caustic chemicals. You could have a new shirt, take it into work, just a white T-shirt, and one day, if a chemical got on it, it would destroy it. It was rough. It felt like burlap, just real rough if you ran your hand across it. Just ruined them, gave them a gray complexion to the material. It looked terrible. And softer shirts are kinder to me, as to most people. But it bothered me enough. I don't sleep in it, but I did save a couple. I had to get rid of a bunch. And the material shrank them. My wife was teasing me. She said, "I was going to tease you about gaining weight." She said, "But they're shrinking vertically." I said, "Yeah, so either I'm 6'6" or these shirts are going to be a sports bra in a week, And I ended up getting rid of some, but the two that fit closest to how they had originally, I now wear, especially in the summer when I'm not wearing a sweater, I wear in the shop, because if anything goes wrong, it doesn't matter at all with those shirts. Awesome. And fudge brownie is like that too. With what's in it, it will age nicely. I do love that. That's a good one. I could smoke that any dang day of the week and never be disappointed. Oh man, Kate. Poor woman, the censorship folks are at it again. I feel like they trap you more. I could message people, and man, the autocorrect is so terrible. I'll put a word, I'll start out and I'm putting two words in a row. The first word will alter, but then when I finish the second word, it's like, okay, those two words came out right. And then as soon as I hit space, it changes them both to something else. And they will set you up to be embarrassed or look like a terrible person because you're not saying anything you're trying to say. Wednesday is a good show. I've heard it's been good. I really do want to pick up on it. I've heard a lot of good about it. I appreciate that they aren't giving into the political correctedness nonsense. I do appreciate that. That's the cherry on top for me. Because most good shows, it just doesn't make sense to me to. I don't know. This is all I'll get into on here about politics. Is that anytime big governments put into things, they like to ruin it. Whether it's pipe smoking or church or of any kind of church, schools, shows, let people figure it out themselves, dang it. Within reason, because I do know there's, you always get extreme cases, but second season is coming. That's the worst thing is when you get into a show so much. It's like the show You. That is an interesting thriller, especially when you went to school for criminal justice. I do have a fascination for how people think and how they get to their conclusions, because a lot of times you see things from one way and then you don't always see the whole story. So with that show, you already know the story of everybody around the main character. So to see everything from his perspective is really cool. But I got stuck on that show and it was the same way. I'm just like crawling for the next season. And I never watch a lot of TV, but I do like some shows, a few shows. I don't watch many. There's some random ones that catch my attention. But a lot of times they announce a movie. My wife's the one that says, "Hey, that looks like one we would like." And we watch it based off of what she thinks. Unless it's one that really stands out to me, then I suggest, "Hey, this looks like a good one." But that's pretty rare. Usually I don't have a lot of faith in movies. Second season of Lupin. Take care, Steve and Kathy. Great to see you. Hope the weather clears up nicely for you. Hope you have a great day. And I hope you're feeling all better. I know a couple weeks ago or so you weren't feeling great. It's been nice to see you. You guys take good care of yourselves. Mabu and I always have you on our minds. We may not always message you, but we do think about you often and always wish the best for you too. See, now this is down to the ash. It's not bad. It's the white fine ash, which is nice. But you can still taste all the flavors. It's just making your mouth water. I was even in the shop a little bit today. I should have grabbed my blending notebook. I went out for something else and figured while I had the dogs out, I'd go in there and check on the heat and things like that, look things over. And I looked at the notebook and I almost brought it in. And I thought, well, no, because I was going to shovel snow. So I didn't want to have a notebook with me or go back to the house with it and then go back out and shovel. I didn't want to do that. And I ended up leaving it. Dropped the shovel off at the porch and went inside. I did see a rabbit today. I saw the rabbit that appreciates my shovel tracks that are trails that get snowed in. Got about 6 feet away from that rabbit. So that was pretty cool. But, it's one of those times that by the time you pull your phone out, it's not going to be there. So I waited a second. Then I still pulled my phone out and it ran off. I should have stuck with my gut on that one, but it was cool. It's like, hey, you going to the shop? And we did have a rabbit for years. It wasn't a pet, but it was borderline domesticated. You could get up a foot away from it. Almost pet it. And whenever we'd go down the road for a walk, it would follow us. And then it would lay down. I've never seen a rabbit do this. It would lay down like you see them do when they hunker down for some reason. And it would nap on the roadside, not in the ditch, but just on the edge. And it would nap and wait for us to come back and then lead the way back into the yard. So it was really cool for just being a rabbit. It was pretty neat. That was one of those, that was just a good smoke. That was the right pipe, the right amount. Still have that burly, borderline chocolatey taste. Just barely there at the end, but it was very good. It was a cute rabbit. Good size too, so I don't know how old it would have been. I'd say around a year and a half. Maybe 2 years. I don't know. But good size. You don't see them get super big all the time around here because coyotes and stuff like that. And recently we had some rabbits. They got sick. And this is what a lot of people don't understand. You get people mad if you shoot a rabbit or mad if you shoot a prairie dog or mad if people shoot a deer. But what a lot of people don't understand is when you have too many animals, they get a sickness and a lot of them die out. When you have too many deer, you'll lose the whole herd. You get the right year for it, you'll lose all of them. So, we don't have people hunting deer every year. We've got a couple of guys that are responsible. And every few years they might hunt one. But they watch, how old is the buck? Are there offspring? Is there another buck around? And they wait. One guy waited 7 years before he finally shot a buck that he had watched that whole time, that he just drove his four-wheeler over, kept an eye on it, tracked it, followed it around. He appreciated the beauty of nature. And so when he finally got it, and, he used it for everything. He wasn't hunting it for the trophy. He used everything. And he gave the antlers to one of our cowboy neighbors. And that's what I call sportsmanship, was when you're not just going out to kill things, when you're actually watching the population, using what you get and appreciating it. That's the way to do it. And rabbits are similar. You get a ton of rabbits around, they'll get sick and they'll all die. We had a lot of rabbits a couple years ago. I don't know why we had so many all of a sudden, but we had tons. I'm talking 30, maybe to 40. And when they, we didn't hunt any, our neighbors didn't hunt any over here. And I think 3 rabbits or so, maybe 4, survived. The rest just got sick and passed all of a sudden. And, coyotes chewed on them and left them, which usually coyotes don't do. They don't just leave them. So it was some kind of illness, but I would have rather had some of those rabbits be somebody's meal than just pass, Now, you guys stay wonderful as well. Yeah, let's hop over and show some support to Jack Ryan. I thought someone was going live today. I didn't want to step on anybody's lives. I just thought I'd throw one in there. So this is the right timing. But thank you guys for being here. It's been a good one. Just keep in mind what you want, Patrick. And when I can get things to you, we'll talk about it more and I'll make some blends of stuff. But otherwise, thank you guys for being here. Let's go support Jack Ryan. Have a wonderful